Hey everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you are watching Open. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming up on today's show, we'll sit down with the host and executive producer of a podcast that is empowering and energizing a growing community of CEOs to be as successful as they can be. After that, we'll speak to a father and son who will highlight how their cleaning business has grown and thrived for 2 decades. Plus, we'll check in with the regional manager of an organization that's making representation accessible to every individual and business in need of affordable counsel, legal counsel that is. And then finally, we'll sit down with Adrian Acosta, a Bronx-based DJ, who will give us a glimpse of his experiences as a young artist and entrepreneur in New York City. So stay tuned, kick off your shoes and relax your feet. We're wide open, here we go. Hey everybody, I'm the Doc Bob Lee and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is a native of Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, woman! And she's a government professional that has served in the 11th and 12th council districts and is now the chief of staff in New York State Assembly. And she also has she's a host and executive producer of Becoming the CEO. You want to know more? It's a podcast, and she's with us today to speak about her podcasts and her growth and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Sabriena B. Campbell.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Nice to be with you.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you, too.
Yes. So you have that government experience. You've been doing it for some time.
Yes.
But just give us a little overview of what you've been into and how you got into it and then what you're doing now.
So I believe that my earliest desire to be in government stems from maybe 8 years old.
Wow.
I remember watching closely the presidential election between George W. Bush and Senator John Kerry, and that's kind of what piqued my interest in government. I did not know that I would become chief of staff one day. It wasn't on the vision board, but I, divinely have been led into it. Started off in 2015 as an intern in the New York City Council in the 12th Councilmatic District, and worked my way up. Legislative director, constituent services director, you name it, I basically did it. Sharpening pencils, shredding paper, I did it all.
Yeah.
And I want to say about late 2022, I had the desire to transition from city council into the state assembly. Again, did not know how I would make it there, but divinely, I was referred and recommended. The power of community. My community spoke to my character, spoke to my work, and now I am a chief of staff in the New York State Assembly.
Yeah. But see, you went through a whole lot. Like you even mentioned shopping pencils or go get coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
But you learned the ins and outs of what you needed to do to become successful at it.
I was committed to the role and to the opportunity, regardless of what it entailed. So I would show up every day, unpaid intern, showed up every day, fully dressed. Fully dressed. Sure. Didn't have much experience, to be honest, in an office setting. A lot of my administrative skills came from church. So we weren't really answering phones or sending emails that much in church in the administrative work, so I learned that on the job. But tying it into where I am today as a serial entrepreneur and as a government professional and a young professional, all of those experiences I've been able to transfer them into becoming the CEO and all of my other businesses.
So you said, you know what, since I'm talking about becoming a CEO, let's do a podcast.
Right. So the inspiration behind becoming the CEO came from a bit of trial and error. So I have an independent beauty company.
That's how it happens.
Yes. And it's the best way for it to happen, through that trial and error. So I've been building an independent beauty company that specializes in eye makeup, eyelashes, The glue, the applicators, the scissors, we have it here. We have it at Velvet Lux.
So you have a kit.
So we have a kit. We sell them individually, but we also have a kit. And through building out Velvet Lux, I needed a space to vent.
Yeah.
I needed a space to tell people that what we see on social media, what we see online, there's so much in between that post that we see and admire. There's so many steps that you have to take to be a successful entrepreneur and to become a CEO. So through that, those feelings and the frustration and also the happiness of launching the company, I bought a mic on Amazon, and my friend was a graphic designer. I'm like, I need you to design a logo for me for this podcast. I didn't have a script. I was not in the studio. I was in like my 1-bedroom apartment with my MacBook and my mic.
It's okay.
And
once you got that mic, that's the power right there.
That's the power right there. And then the authenticity behind my story, you know, like just truth, speaking my truth, speaking truth to power, that the experience is fun and the results are fun when you're a CEO, but the process in between, the character building in between, is what we all need to hear about. So that's how season 1 started, just me sitting in front of a mic and just saying, this is how I failed, but I failed forward.
And what season is this now?
We are now going into season 5.
Woo, all right.
Going into
So
season
what are
5.
some of the things that you're talking about these days?
So these days we're talking about, we're giving a space to other entrepreneurs. So when I first started the podcast, it was just me and that mic. And then I was like, I know a lot of really good people who also have businesses. So I want to get them onto the program, get them onto the show to talk about their journeys, where they are, what they've learned, and where they see themselves in the future, and how people can reach their businesses. So the podcast has pivoted to interviews and still me sharing my experiences. So we talk about lifestyle, we talk about love. We're going into season 5. I'll be interviewing a really successful couple who run their business together. And I want to give a space to Black love, for other young professionals like myself who are unwed and hope to be married, so that they can see in close proximity people doing it.
What's your number now? No. We can't give your number out loud on TV. Are you looking?
Yeah.
You got your business. You're married to your business.
Yeah,
or businesses.
Businesses.
But you know what happens when you put all of that together and you're shining that light on everything that you're doing? The magnetism of it all, you draw people to you. So you're going to have a whole lot of people, I will say, hitting on you, but checking on you.
For sure. You have motion.
So that comes. That's going to come.
Yeah, for sure.
And they love, successful women. Yeah, woman. So don't worry about that. That's going to come to you.
No, we're still building.
So you're involved in church also?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely involved in church. More so, my sector is youth, developing young people, and that also again connects with what we're doing with becoming the CEO. So a lot of the programs that I've hosted within my community for young people are book bag giveaways, the basics of your health. Building your estate planning. You're never too young to think about building out your estate.
Absolutely.
You're never too young to think about investment and learning financial literacy. So I've worked on financial literacy programs, estate planning, as I've said before, and then the basics, just providing them what they need, their school supplies, their book bags, food, and trying to mitigate food insecurity.
Sounds like community building to me. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes.
Putting it all together.
Putting it all together.
Building out the community. Helping the community get what they need out of life, as I said.
And in addition to that, through becoming the CEO, in December, I'll be hosting our first in-person workshop for young people so that they can learn how to braid. And we're calling it the Braiding Camp, the Becoming the CEO Braiding Camp. The braiding business has boomed in the last couple of years. A lot of people are wearing box braids, cornrows, and boohoo braids. So I want to invest in young people that they can learn the skill. It's a skill that you can't be, that can't be taken away from you. And you can monetize it and build your business. So we'll be hosting that in the fall.
And there's something historic about that too.
Yes.
About the braids, like maps and everything.
Yeah. So we want to give young people that opportunity to, one, learn that skill, to monetize on that skill. And we'll also be inviting a beauty school. And the beauty school will be presenting on how to legitimize your business and the process of going to cosmetology school and obtaining your license.
And that's in the fall?
And that'll be in December.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you just come back and let us know, okay?
We will,
let us know beforehand.
Yes.
And so that's just one of the businesses that you do. How many businesses are you running?
So I am also a licensed notary.
All right.
And I provide these services.
Oh, I should have put my paperwork
You
with me.
should have. You should have. I provide these services for free in our assembly office, at Assemblymember Chantel Jackson's office for free.
Yeah.
And then you can also book me. You can follow me on Instagram, and then you can book me that way as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to see a notary today. Get some things taken care of. But
Stop by the office.
so you're doing all those things. You know, I was interviewing a young man. Well, he was not a young man. He's no longer with us today. But the guy who started WBLS, Percy Sutton, and I was asking him about like the many businesses that he had, and he says, "Well, you know, people think I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none." I said, "Why do you think they think that?" He says, "Because I keep about 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 businesses." He says, "Because if 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 fail, I'm still in business."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never forgot that. So when I do my little talks and speeches at different places, you know, I let people know about that.
Yeah. Being a serial entrepreneur, it sounds like a lot, but if you're doing purpose-driven work and it's actually natural to you, it's not too hard to manage everything that you're doing. But I do encourage people to, you know, look into having multiple businesses and businesses that, you know, can bring you revenue. Also businesses that you can build community, because the community is the essence when you have your businesses.
And when you mention purpose-driven work, that means you have a passion about what you're doing.
Yes.
It's not just you're not just
doing
it
it
to do it.
You're not just
you
doing it.
feel it and you love it. Like you fall in love with somebody, you have that feeling that this is something that I may want to do. And guess what? I'll do this for free, but they're going to pay me for it? What?
Right. And when you're doing the purpose work and you're not making as much as you'd like to be making, you're able to stay centered and stay grounded until you get to where you want to be financially with your business.
Build upon it. Yes. So it looks like you're on the right track. You're doing a lot of good things.
Trying.
What's coming up in the world of politics?
So right now within government, we're trying to just continue to build community. We're trying to reach the people where they are. We're trying to, especially in our assembly district, we're trying to bring people what they need. So Assemblymember Chantel Jackson, I can speak to this.
I know very well.
We are planning a trip for over 100 young people to go to Earn Your Leisure, which is also a podcast. Earn Your Leisure's Invest Fest in August. So we will be all expense paid, busing down these young people to learn financial literacy, again, learning estate planning. They're going to get to see big moguls, Don Peebles, the Marathon Clothing, which is the clothing brand and company of late artist Nipsey Hussle. So they'll be going down to Atlanta to learn all of these things and to just get the exposure. So that's what we're focused on in government right now, is the continuance of building community, providing resources, and giving our young people experiences that they wouldn't normally get.
Yeah, she sends me all the information as to you know what she's doing in the community and everything that's happening. So every now and then I'll touch that on the radio. You know.
Yeah, but the Invest Fest trip, we have to like get that out there, because that's going to be really big for our young people to get that experience.
All right, well, I think it's in that lineup that she sends me.
Yeah. It'll be in our newsletter, but we'll make sure that you get it.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right. So where do people go to find out more about everything that you're doing? And I know if you want to raise funds or get volunteers, it's all on your website.
Yes. So people can follow me personally at Sabriena C _, but they can also follow Becoming the CEO, which we have just transitioned from solely being a podcast to branching off into becoming a network. So we have the networking events that we host. We also have or are about to launch our book club, our monthly book club.
Ooh, I like it.
And then in addition to that, we'll be doing what I'm calling the CEO Masterclasses, where I'm going to get some other CEOs to get on and share what they know and teach people some tips and tricks on how to like manage their businesses fully.
I'm going to check in. I'm a CEO of Bob Lee Enterprises and the Make the Great Foundation for Education.
So we might need you to be one of our facilitators for the CEO Masterclass.
I'll come in and say hello.
Yes, please. So we have the masterclasses, we have the webinars, the workshops, and then we have the networking events. Our next networking event is going to be November 21st. All of the details for the event can be found on our Instagram. And in addition to that, like I said earlier, we'll be hosting our first braiding camp. And we'll probably segue from the braiding camps maybe into some master barbering or makeup artistry. But we're going to start with the braiding.
Should I grow some hair and just come in and sit down?
Yeah.
Give her a big hand, everybody. Yes. Sabriena B. Campbell, executive producer and host, Becoming the CEO podcast. We thank you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
And you're always welcome.
Yes.
All right. We'll take a quick break right here. I've got a whole lot more coming up. It's next on Open.
Hey, creative family. My name is Timothy Coleman, and I'm the Director of Education here at BronxNet. And I'm standing in BronxNet's Media and Technology Studios in the South Bronx because I want to let you know about an amazing program that we're bringing back that highlights the creativity of community members just like you. Emerging Media Makers is a show that introduces you to BronxNet's certified producers. They've taken a step in their creative journey by enrolling in BronxNet's media training classes. On this show, you'll get to see the many ways that our certified producers have created a space that's all their own. Emerging Media Makers, your passion lives here.
And there you go. We're cooking with gas right about now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back up to Doc Bob Lee from BLS, and you're watching Open. Our next guests are the founders and client relationship manager of a restaurant cleaning business that has grown and thrived for 2 decades. They'll highlight the services that they offer, shine a light on the clients that they service, and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Alvaro and Dan Merino. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
How do you do?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. He's a Hall of Famer for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. You guys have been, of course, together most of your life, Dan. And
Yes. My name is Alvaro Merino.
uh-huh,
I came from Mexico.
uh-huh.
It's going to be 50 years this September.
You're
the
celebrating 50 years?
I'm gonna be
All right, give them a big
celebrating.
round of applause, everybody. Yeah.
50 years in New York, in
There
the
you
United
go.
States.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
so I was born in Mexico. This particular business, my wife and I started it from the ground up.
Yeah.
It was my wife and I who were now cleaning our first restaurant. And it wasn't easy, but, we started learning. We started getting experience.
Yeah.
We started getting equipment. We started getting help. And 20-something years later, here we are.
Here we are. But, in starting this business, you didn't have all the tools that you needed in the beginning, right?
Exactly.
What's some of the things that you had back then that you...
Well, the business we started with my wife, we started with the vacuum cleaner that we had in our house.
It was a regular vacuum cleaner.
A regular vacuum cleaner. But obviously, it's not made for commercials, so it burned up.
It burned up.
It burned up. And,
That means you were making money.
we burned up the vacuum cleaner.
Sound like me DJing. I burned up a bunch of speakers before I really got into it.
But we didn't have the experience. But there's been a great amount of people that have helped us through the years.
Yeah.
We learned from somebody who teach me how to clean the windows. Because I used to you clean the windows and the water will seep to the other side. And then I got dripping on the other side and then I do it again. But this guy told me, listen, 2 fingers. Don't go all the way with the water. The squeegee, you go all the way up and then you come down.
Yes.
And then cleaning windows in the winter. Every time we put the water on the windows,
It froze.
So I tell my wife, you know what? I seen these guys who they clean it in the winter. Let's walk around, see if we find one. So we walk around in Times Square. We were working in Times Square. And I see this guy like nothing, So I asked him, listen, you're doing a great job. How you manage to do the windows without freezing? He goes, I put a little bit of alcohol.
Oh,
Man, that's great, man. Congratulations, you're doing a great job. Then we go back to our business. We pick up a bottle of regular alcohol, rubbing alcohol. We put it in the water, and it works like magic.
Yeah.
But those are the tricks and the things that we learn, and that's why it's called experience.
Yeah.
You
Now,
know,
somebody
experience-
getting ready to start the business, they know what to do right off the bat.
Yeah,
You
right
gave them
off
that
the bat.
wonderful
Yeah,
information.
definitely.
So how did you meet up with the Hall of Fame quarterback, Dan Merino?
Well, Daniel Merino is my son. So
That's how you guys met.
he's my son. He's the youngest of my 4 children. He's the youngest, but he's the one who showed more interest in the business, or the only one actually. Well, my daughter did a little bit show interest,
Yeah,
but
they like to go their own way sometimes. But
everybody's doing well on their own.
yeah.
But Danny, he liked the business, and I remember the first time we took him to a first meeting, and he liked it from there on. So
You have your own tools? You
Yeah.
can go
So,
somewhere else and your father can go somewhere else?
so I started working with my father back in 2017. That was my first year of college. And unfortunately, I got sick. I got meningitis when I was in college. And for those who don't know, meningitis is the swelling of the membrane around your brain, right? It's the liquid between your brain and your skull.
Yeah.
So
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous, high
And
mortality
that usually
rate.
happens a lot in college.
It
too.
happens a lot in college. And so I was very sick, and once I was able to recover, my father basically, he approached me and he said, "You want to go back to school? You want to see what we do in the business?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll go." And my expectation was that I would go to like sales meetings or client meetings or work in the office. But he told me, no, show
We're
up
going
at
out.
this restaurant at midnight.
Yes.
And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, you can't run the business if you don't know how it works from the bottom up.
Yeah.
So for the first few months, I was scrubbing toilets and sweeping and mopping and learning how to clean the kitchen, all of the equipment. I had to learn just like everybody else. And looking back at it now, it definitely gives me I appreciate the work that our team does every single night.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I was like frustrated. I was like, but I'm your son. Why am I here at midnight,
biblical.
2 a.m., But like I said, looking back on it now, it was the best thing that I could have done, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, a couple months in, then he takes me on the first meeting, and that was one of our clients, Bubblegum Shrimp in Times Square. And I just saw the way that my father would communicate with the customers, the way that he would persuade them, he would ease their concerns, he would, upsell on certain services that we were doing. And back then it was a smaller ship. I think back then in 2017 we had maybe 10 restaurants with a 15-man crew.
Yeah.
And over the years we've been able to build that up to 50 restaurants a night with about a 75-man crew all over the city.
Very proud of your son?
I am
Very proud of your
yes.
son. So
Very proud.
what are some of the ways that you ease the tensions on some of your clients? You said, don't worry, I got you.
Okay, the things that we sell, we sell a service.
Yeah.
And I tell Danny, I said, we sell a service because that's what we do.
And why did it get you better than the other? What makes you better than the other guy?
I tell the guys that the owners, I said, listen, you're paying for a service, but you're actually getting a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because by hiring us, you can go home and sleep
Oh,
knowing
you can sleep at night.
you can
Yes.
sleep at night knowing that your restaurant is going to be clean when you come in.
That's important too, because a lot of times they send people around from the city to check on that. To see if you're clean. They'll go under the counter.
yeah,
I was sitting in a restaurant one day.
inspections,
I was doing
inspectors.
I was doing a broadcast at one of the restaurants. We were doing the breakfast program on radio, and I saw a guy come in, and everybody just straightened up. Wait, the guy's in here. The guy was underneath the counter. He was looking for everything. He had white gloves on.
Yeah.
So it's important. You guys are very, very important to come in and make sure everything's okay.
Yes.
And they got to put a sign on the door.
A.
B, C.
And we guarantee to the customers that they're going to get an A
There you
when they
go.
hire
All
us.
right. Make the grade. Give you that A.
There you go. it's a peace of mind that we sell the customer.
Yeah.
Because they said, why should, there was actually one restaurant that says, why are you charging me so much when I can pay a guy $10 an hour back in the days?
So you get what you pay for.
Exactly, you get what you pay for. I said, obviously, I gotta pay the same guy $10 an hour. That's the minimum wage. But we still got overhead costs. We got
Exactly.
You're
running a business.
We're running a business.
Yeah.
But if this guy you hire for $10 gets sick, nobody's gonna come and clean it. But if one of our guys gets sick, we have 75 people that are ready to cover that guy.
Oh.
So
And you said you do a lot of it in Times Square?
Yes, most of it is in Times Square, but we have expanded to New Jersey, Connecticut.
And most
Brooklyn.
recently, we just opened an office in Las Vegas.
What?
So we're expanding from New York to Las Vegas. We did some market research.
You guys are
There's a
nationwide,
big-
huh?
It
That's-
started, yeah.
Yep.
started.
We just started. So picking up a couple clients over there, and the goal is to obviously expand what we do here and do it over there, and eventually in other major cities throughout the country.
So if people want you, where do they call?
So if they could call our office, or they could go on our website. Our website is what has the most up-to-date information about our clients, our services, our service areas, and that's restaurantcleaners.com.
Restaurantcleaners.com. All right, we're going to come back to that. We're going to mention that again. But tell us what's next.
Last weekend, I was supposed to go to Chicago to meet with somebody.
Yeah.
Who we're also thinking of expanding to Chicago.
Right.
And this person showed interest in our company. So we was gonna go to this meeting, but unfortunately there was a funeral.
Yeah.
And then the meeting was postponed. But yes, our next city is Chicago, and then Orlando.
We have we have a couple cities in the pipeline that we're working on expanding into, opening offices, and obviously vetting the team that we want to start with in these different cities. Right now it's New York and Las Vegas, but we have Chicago in mind. We have Orlando,
Dallas. We have somebody in
Yep,
Dallas.
absolutely.
All right.
So the goal is for this year, Las Vegas, but for the next year, be in at least 3 other cities.
Is this going to be a franchise?
We've talked about it. As of right now, it's all owned and operated by us, by our team. But there is the opportunity to franchise.
That's great. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team's here.
Yes.
That's good.
We're excited. We're excited, and there is a big opportunity for this. And we work with a lot of mid to high end restaurants.
Yeah. Who are some of those restaurants?
Yeah, so I guess here for New York natives, everybody knows Dallas Barbecue.
Yeah.
Great.
You do Dallas barbecue?
We do Dallas Barbecue.
And it's clean?
And they're clean.
We're going to go in there and eat.
Absolutely. We've worked with Planet Hollywood, Bubblegum Shrimp, Mr. Beast. He's the biggest YouTuber in the world. We clean his restaurant in American Dream Mall. That was the first brick and mortar store that Mr. Beast opened up for Beast Burger.
Yeah.
A very high-end venue is the John George brand. They have dozens of restaurants throughout the city. We worked with the Tin Building, 53,000 square feet, 12 dining outlets, 20,000 square foot commissary kitchen, cleaned 7 nights a week.
7 nights a week.
And we've just been very fortunate to build relationships with a lot of the Landry's Hospitality is the biggest hospitality company in the world.
Yeah.
We do several of their New York outlets, and we've just been very fortunate to build these relationships and establish our reputation as the go-to name for cleaning services exclusively for the restaurant and hospitality industry.
I can see airports and everything coming into the picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
At
You
one
guys
time-
are getting bigger and bigger.
Before the pandemic,
You got
I'm
30
talking
seconds.
Before the pandemic, I remember we used to have in Times Square.
Yeah.
We used to have Planet Hollywood on 45th Street. We used to have Bubblegum Shrimp on 44th Street. All this in Times Square.
Yeah.
Then we used to have
Hard Rock.
Hard Rock Cafe on 43rd, and then we used to have ESPN on across the street, and then Dallas Barbecue around the corner. So at one point, throughout the years, we were very big in Times Square.
Yeah.
If not the biggest.
That's right.
company.
Yeah, just still growing. You're growing all
Yeah,
over the place.
definitely.
That's
Absolutely.
good. I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger. Just come back and share more with us, okay?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And when the restaurants close at night, you guys keep
That's
it open.
when we
That's
come
when
in.
we start. Yep.
That's
It's a
when we
beautiful
come
thing, keeping it clean, keeping it clean. Alvaro Merino, founder and president, Restaurant Cleaners, and Dan Merino, client relationship manager, Restaurant Cleaners. We thank you guys for stopping by and sharing that wonderful information with us.
Thank
we
you very
appreciate
much.
it. Thank
right.
you, Dr.
And we
Bob Lee.
appreciate for having us here, and definitely we'll be happy to come back after some of these new cities open up.
Can you do the studios?
Yeah, definitely.
We do it. We do it.
You're looking around. Thank you guys so much. We'll take a break. I've got more open coming your way next.
Thank you very much.
And welcome back. How you doing, everybody? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Our next guest is the regional manager of LegalShield. It's an organization that provides people and businesses affordable and equal access to legal services. And he joins us to speak about how he is creating networks of support that helps people navigate the complexities of the legal system. So please welcome to the show, Ed Walker. Ed, welcome.
Good morning. How are you today?
All is well, all is well. Nice and smooth so far, so good. Ed, give us a little overview of what you're all about and how you got it all started.
Well, you know, I actually got started with this company, wasn't looking for an opportunity. At the time, I was working with the New York City Transit Authority. I was working the graveyard shift, and I was also working as a consultant during the day. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this opportunity literally fell into my lap where a person who shared some information with me, and I said, you know what? I was working every day, 8 to faint and beyond. And that kind of like sparked the catalyst right there, where the opportunity. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So you started LegalShield. How'd you come up with the name? It was there already, or you started the name?
LegalShield is a company that's been around for over 52 years. So I got involved with the company, like I said, almost 17 years ago, when, you know, just to generate some extra money as a representative to share what their services do. And then fast forward into today, they moving up through the company, they appointed me as a regional manager for the New York City metro area because of the people that we help.
Yeah. Now, what is the mission of and the goal of LegalShield?
The mission, the goal is to give people equal access to the liberties, justice, and equality that's deserved. LegalShield currently has over 4.4 million members nationwide that people that voluntarily request our services. We also help not just individuals and families, but small business owners as well. So just a whole suite of services that we offer.
Yeah. And how do you mix this in with the International Christian Brotherhood that you're a part of?
You know, that story on the International Christian Brotherhood, I was, before I got involved with this company, my old landlord, he was a member of Christian Cultural Center.
Yeah, over there in Brooklyn.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pastor
A.R. Bernard.
A.R. Bernard and his son, Pastor Jamal Bernard.
Yes.
Definitely give them credit to so many things. And he introduced me to the church. And from being introduced to the church, I was introduced to this incredible men's fraternity called the International Christian Brotherhood that was founded at the Christian Cultural Center and became a part of this organization, where I now currently serve on the executive board with that. And that's just about helping men, because I believe we all need help. And sometimes we just don't know which direction to go to find it. So I found it here.
And what are some of the services that you offer in this endeavor of building up men of God?
Well, one of the things we do, or a few of the things that we do, is that we have our online curriculum where people can find things that, get in tune with other men. We train men in being in Christ likeness with the International Christian Brotherhood. So we have ongoing events. We have men huddles, live events at the church, and sometimes off campus as well. Engaging in men in Christ.
Yeah, and you're doing a lot. You also have a publication, right? Tell us about it.
Well, the publication is the brother publication. I like to say with She Exists magazine. We also have He Exists magazine.
Yeah.
And that's just a publication that we cater to men, in empowerment, in entrepreneurship, and so many things that we have in empowering men, again, globally, and when it comes to the mission that we have with the He Exists side of the magazine.
Yeah. Do you have any other events coming up that we should know about?
We actually have a live networking event that's coming up for LegalShield. We're looking, that's going to take place on August 10th on Long Island in Valley Stream. And people can reach out to me, through social media and to get more information on that, because we're looking for people to join us in the movement and getting the word out and having people empowering people with equal access.
And what will people learn upon coming down to that the networking event?
Well, it's definitely a great networking event. We want to know who you are, and so we want to get to know you and partner with those and people throughout the different communities, to giving people maybe in regards to getting access to legal services, getting your wills done, estate planning. We do workshops on that. And we also help with not just on the legal side, but we also help with privacy protection, with helping people with identity theft issues and things of that nature as well.
Yeah, that's big. We do something with shredding, and we always tell people, you got to shred your documents with somebody that you know about. Usually an organization comes out and sends a truck out and you shred your documents, but a lot of people are getting their identities stolen by just throwing their documents straight into the trash. What do you tell them about that?
We do workshops. We partner with organizations to do these workshops, especially with our seniors, and with just letting people know simple things like don't carry. There's no need to carry your Social Security card around. That is super old school. We don't need to do that anymore. Even signing the back of your credit card. Put on the back of your credit card. Ask for ID. So but we're in the world today with fast-moving technology. So we have to keep up with, because they're out there jeopardizing your trying to compromise your identity. And people really need to protect that by all means necessary.
Yeah. Just like you're doing a job working it from this side, you got the other people working it from the other side trying to get your information.
Absolutely, Bob. And one of the things, too, is that a lot of times people don't realize that why it's such a great combination with having access to legal services and identity theft protection, because we just had one of our members who got arrested while out of state and found out that he had a warrant in his name, and it wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
So that was an identity theft issue, but it also then became a legal issue. So
yeah, now you got to sit in the cell until they straighten all of that out.
Right, but who they looking for?
Yeah.
They're looking for you. So that's the problem, and so we try to help combat that by having our prior licensed investigators go in and do the work.
Yeah.
To help people in situations just like that.
Yeah, and I know there are a lot of people out there that need that will and that trust information done.
Absolutely.
How important is it to put a trust together?
Oh man, you know, those documents those are love letters to your family. You know, sometimes we put things off as humans. We put things off thinking that we have time, but we don't know the date and the time.
Yeah.
We don't know. So we definitely have to put things in place and don't think that we don't have things. It's the simple things. Photographs is the number one things that families first argue and fight about after the loss of a loved one.
Really?
So those memories are very cherishable.
Photographs, money.
Well, money, but you know, so many times people say, oh, I don't have any money, I don't have this and that, but you have more than what you think you have.
Property, yeah, all of that stuff, you know.
Yes.
No, that's mine. No, he said he'll give it to me, but you didn't put a will together or trust together.
Or the worst thing is we assume that maybe a family member or the siblings aren't going to fight about it, but that's just a setup for disaster.
Yeah, yeah. But then the probate court gets involved if you don't have everything straight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you don't want that to happen, because that just gets tied up over a period of time and it winds up costing you a ton of money to rectify it.
Yeah. People in business all around.
Absolutely.
While you're here and while you're gone.
Absolutely.
Listen, thank you for all that you do to help out in our community and help people, create that awareness that there's some things that need to be done and some things that your organization can do to help others. We appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for having me. And for those that, you can find me on, at I Am Ed Walker, or on Facebook. You can find me at the Ed Walker Network. So I'm out there, just Google, just there, and looking forward to helping more in the communities that we serve.
We appreciate you, man. Ed Walker, co-founder, He Exists. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right. We'll take a quick break right here. I've got a whole lot more coming up right here on Open.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. .5% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. .34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit bronxnet.org to learn more.
And welcome back. Hey, how are you? Hey, our last guest is a young DJ and musician. He's here to talk about his journey as an artist. So please welcome to the show, Adrian Acosta. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are
It's
you?
a pleasure.
So
The
you on the
pleasure's
ones
all
and twos? Let me see your hands.
Oh yeah, 1 and 2.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. You cut it up. How do you? So you're a DJ.
Yep.
And what made you want to become a DJ? Was it after school or during school?
So I got into DJing during my time at SUNY Purchase College. I went there for music production, and I was already a producer for quite a while at that point. So I was very music oriented kind of all of my life. I started as a singer at a small music program in the South Bronx at my Haven Academy Charter School called Haven Kids Rock.
Yeah.
And I really just followed that passion for music and singing throughout my life and into my high school career. I got into LaGuardia High School of the Arts for vocal music and continued my education in music through my time at SUNY Purchase. And at some point during my sophomore year, a good friend of mine basically needed a DJ for her birthday party. So I figured then would be as good a time as ever to kind of...
Well, you went there without equipment and everything?
Oh, I had, speakers and sound interfaces and microphones for my production classes, but in terms of live performing and DJing and mixing, it was something that I had never really dove into yet, but something I kind of felt like I had an inclination for, naturally.
So you went to that particular party, you put it together on your phone or?
Well, that party, basically the night before, a good artist friend of mine, Dom Ultra, he drove me over to the nearest Guitar Center. Like, no questions asked. I was like, hey man.
You picked up a controller?
Exactly, I picked up a controller that night. He was there to see it and everything. We talk about it to this day. And I went home that night and I just studied. I watched every YouTube video I could find. I watched every Boiler Room that came up on my YouTube, and I was just sucked into it. It very quickly just took over everything, and I DJ'd the party, and it was lots of fun, and we got shut down, but
the music was still out?
Yeah, the music was great.
So that's good. So you went on from there, because once you start buying equipment, it never stops.
Never.
So
Things are
tell
always
me about
breaking.
it. What did you do?
I mean, so
what did you get next?
What did I get next? So
You've never experienced the 1,200 turntables.
Oh no, not yet. I'm working my way up there though. One day I'm gonna have a sick vinyl collection and the whole shebang. But I started off with just like a beginner controller. I'm sure you're familiar with the DDJ 400s and the Roland DJ 202, kind of like those entry level stuff. But as I got more comfortable performing live, and as I felt like I kind of expanded beyond the limitations of the hardware, I recently upgraded to a DDJ 1000 Serato. So, being
Look
able
at
to have...
this guy here.
Exactly, yeah, that's me on the CDJs.
You got the strobes and everything going.
At the Lot Radio, they invited me. The Lot Radio, they're really awesome. They're a radio station down in Brooklyn. They do shows all the time, and they have a bunch of stuff and a bunch of really cool people over. This is me on East New York, which is a TV show on CBS. So.
Oh, okay, I thought you got pulled over.
But yeah, just growing with the equipment and being involved with a million different projects at the same time is kind of like my speed, DJing, you're tracking so many different things at once, even things that the audience can't hear. So,
what genre do you love most?
So I consider myself open format. So really,
I play everything.
Exactly. I'm a lover of music. I grew up listening to a lot of Caribbean music and hip hop, just being in the South Bronx. I'm from Highbridge, so I try to rep that in my music and in my taste. Every single day and every single set. But as I got older and started meeting people from different cultures and also being at Purchase, which has such a multitude of cultural clubs and, people from all walks of life and all over the place, it really has expanded my music taste a lot. And I think that shows both in the music that I play as a DJ, but also the music that I make as a producer as well. But I'd say my strengths are definitely the hip hop, the Caribbean music, the Afro beats, and also electronic music. House, trance, jungle, drum and bass.
Well, we'll see you at a stadium one day where everybody's jumping up and
Yeah,
down.
right?
You see these guys, they get up there and they have a whole stadium. They're in concert by themselves. Mm-hmm. They have the whole stadium out there, and they're running around the world making a whole lot of money.
Exactly.
You see yourself like that?
Hopefully one day. I mean, if people like the music enough, you know, I don't do it for any kind of attention or acclaim. I'm a lover of music, and I think if that resonates with you and you want to join the Dub Club and come along for the ride, then, you know, we welcome you with open arms.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell us a little more about the Dub Club.
Yeah, so I started Dub Club, we're coming up on 1 year now. I started it during my senior year at Purchase. And I really started it because I really noticed something both in the nightlife in New York, but also just like at the parties at Purchase. Like everyone would just play the same handful of songs every night. You know, it would there would be no deviation from the top 40 or the top 50. You know, and I'm the kind of person, I listen to majority smaller artists. You know, I'm the kind of person I like being early on things and like supporting smaller artists as a small artist.
Yeah.
You know? So I started Dub Club as an opportunity to give myself some agency and be like, hey, like, this is the kind of vibe and this is the kind of room that I want to cultivate. You know, these are the kinds of sounds that I want to promote, and these are the kinds of artists that I want to like lift up and really spread around, because ultimately a lot of people don't know what they like until you put it in front of them.
Right, right.
You know
so
what I mean?
When you have a dance floor out there and you're playing exactly what you're hitting these buttons, and you find something that they really, really like, you can hang out with that for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
But you can always come in and say, hey, you want to try this? This is a new one. This came out, boom.
Exactly.
And just make sure it makes sense. Where they
Exactly.
can, you know, or you can stop the music altogether and say,
Yeah,
hey,
and hey.
now you heard all of that? I just want you to hear something new that just came out. And boom. You know, you're
Yeah,
in
and I
control.
premiere songs all the time.
You're in control. You do the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you really feel like at the helms of
You got the
entire,
controller.
Exactly. You really got it by the reins, the whole vibe of the room, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most exhilarating part for me as a DJ, you know, being able to kind of poke and prod at an audience and kind of, you know, triangulate, okay, this is what this room likes, and being able to make decisions based off that. That's what I find the most fun.
Yeah. So I have a whole garage full of equipment. If you want to take a look at it.
No, of course. I'd love to take a look at some stuff. I love gear.
I got from
I can
back
talk
here
about
all
gear
the way up to
all,
now.
Yeah, I could talk about gear
What I
all
do
day.
is I get tired of the turntables and the mixer in there, and I leave the whole thing complete with the
yeah.
headphones in it, in the case. Now go to the next one. So I have a couple of piles of those.
Yeah.
But then I have the stuff that you can also hook up amplifiers to.
Right.
So the analog equipment. also.
Exactly. That stuff is gold these days.
You got to hear that. It's like.
Yeah, it's like night and day. You wouldn't
Yeah.
believe. I can't wait to the day to where I feel comfortable enough to spin with vinyl and on the turntables and stuff. You know, a lot of that is becoming more and more inaccessible by
Yeah.
the day.
Well, you know, it's all about what you want.
Exactly.
You know, if you put it in your mind, say, hey, this is what I want, that's what you're going to gravitate to, and that's what's going to come to you too. So you're going to put it all together and make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
You just gotta
And
want it.
in due time. In
Yeah.
due time. But yeah.
So what happens now? Where do we go from here? Where do we come to watch you DJ somewhere?
So
Where can we come and sit and get some chicken wings and
oh yeah. I have tacos. You like tacos? You like
and
margaritas?
tacos, margaritas?
Right? Sounds good, right?
I didn't want to say margaritas, but yes, margaritas and whatever.
So yeah, thank you to my friends at Tulum, Brooklyn. They're up at 1056 Broadway in Bushwick. They're really the first ones that kind of gave me my first foot in the door in terms of doing events in the city. Thank you to their manager, Omar. He's very hands-on and very cooperative. He works with me to do special events and works with me to hire the DJs and the security, make sure everyone's staffed. We serve food, and I'm
Food
really
is good.
Yeah, the food is
Drinks are
amazing.
good.
Yeah,
Music is good.
Oh yeah.
The environment, everything's
Yep.
good around you.
Nice and spacious, outdoor patio. I mean, you know, you guys just got to stop by and see it for
Oh, they got
yourself.
to give you a bonus now.
Right?
You're promoting their place all over the place.
But yeah, now my main next steps are really trying to find spaces all over the city that I feel like I can spread the message to. And also, as the Bronx continues to change in the future and grows and expands, making sure that we keep some of that ownership within our community as well.
Yeah.
Is something that's really important to me. So something I'd be interested exploring in the future is opening up my own venue, opening up my own space,
Yeah.
and making sure that I'm playing my role in cultivating and preserving the culture that is the Bronx and the South Bronx.
What about if once a month you come down here, you set up over here, and you open up the show with us?
That sounds
You got to
great
bring
to
the
me.
equipment and everything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm down for everything.
We'll talk to
Great
our
set.
producers about that, see if we can,
Yeah,
get you in
sure.
there. Maybe the next time you come, you can rock it for us.
Yeah, of course.
Just open
Yeah,
up the
no
show,
problem.
and then you'll be the last one out on the show, too.
Definitely.
Beginning and end.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
rock the
I'll
middle.
MC the whole thing.
All right. Wait a minute now. You said you MC the whole thing?
Oh, no.
Forget about that one.
Oh,
No, I'm
man.
only kidding. That's good. So we'll come down to that place again. Look at this shot right here.
Oh, yeah, that's me at the Better Nate Than Ever premiere. Thank you, Disney Plus, for having me on that project. That one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was my first feature film, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, I booked that during college. It was a lot of fun being on set. I've done a couple other projects, and I'm still auditioning. You know, it comes in waves. So.
Yeah. Are you a SAG-AFTRA actor?
Yeah, I am a SAG-AFTRA
All right.
member. Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, thank you.
Have your card with you? You have your card
Not
with
on me, no.
Oh, you got to
But-
carry that card with you. You never
That's
know if they're
true.
going to come up to you and
Yeah,
say,
the
"Hey."
SAG police might come after me.
I think I may have one on here. Let's see. What does it look like? Oh, here it is. SAG-AFTRA.
There we go. Oh yeah, very expensive card, but
Yeah, but you
Love
can.
the Guild.
Yeah, just got to have it because you got to be able to jump in and out of some of the things that they present to you too.
of course.
So, email, website.
Yeah. So everyone can find me at adrianisn'tadub.com. If you want to see my DJing stuff, I have a whole bunch of stuff on my website.
It's on the website.
Including my music and some of my acting gigs as well.
Beautiful.
I have a gallery on there. And also check out my SoundCloud at AdrianIsn'tADub once again. Instagram, TikTok, all the same. Keep in touch with all the stuff that I'm working on. I'm constantly working on new things and just tossing them up and seeing what happens, seeing what sticks. And yeah.
So we're coming down to the place where you're playing. Give me that place one more time, because
Yeah.
they got good tacos. You said, right?
Yeah, great tacos
All right.
and wings.
So we're gonna come
You like
listen
wings?
to you play music and get some wings and tacos.
Sounds like a plan.
And a
Sounds like a
margarita.
good time. Of course.
Give me the website one more time.
AdrianIsn'tADub.com. And my company is called Dub Club. We're working to make it an LLC very soon.
There you go.
But
Beautiful.
yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And come back again. Adrian Acosta, actor, DJ, and founder of Dub Club. I'm going to do a voice. Dub Club. With the little, yeah. Thank
Thank you
man.
so much.
All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. Make sure you keep following BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. We appreciate you and love you so much. Join hosts Kevin Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentine on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for the all-new episodes of Open. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the choose. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So say you can, and you will. I know you can, and I know you will. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.